We, to my negligence, well, we discussed all the other fingers and plucking. We didn't discuss the thumb. So whatever you'd like to put in the book about the thumb.
Thumb is crucial. I've seen very often kids that they teach them, obviously, to play melodies on first string. So what happens at the beginning when the kids are doing that, or any other guitars for that matter, they will lean back to get this facility of playing from the knuckle. But this is a position that does not allow the thumb action. So I will advise, after they have a little bit of control and balance on the I and M, to already start doing some little exercises that you can do open strings. So they learn how to find a position that will go in between both worlds. Not just rest stroke or free stroke, but rather rest, free, and the thumb already can act.
My experience now that things are getting better is that I don't, so I usually play Russell in terms of my hand setup, but I do have to move and adjust for the thumb sometimes. And so maybe not for a young student, but at our point, do you find that we're adjusting more? That's been my experience. There's small tweaks to make the thumb work.
You do, but overall, you want to have a position in which the thumb will be steady and you get what you want without having to twist so much.
Yeah.
Because if you don't find home yet and you start moving around, then as a result your hand will end up moving way too much. So I will find a position where the thumb is steady.
Although even in that, you're doing the rotation, which sort of illustrates.
Well, but the rotation, it comes because I'm doing the weight from the forearm down.
All I'm saying is even then you're kind of adjusting to make the thumb work.
Yeah, because otherwise it means to be static and tense.
Yeah.
Because if you do that, then you're holding here and holding here. If you don't move at all. You can do it, but it's
that was the only point I was trying to illustrate. Yeah. It's even when you get it pretty fixed, when you get it set up with a thumb,
it's never ecstatic.
Yeah, that's all I'm trying to do. Alright, anything else about the thumb?
Rest stroke versus free stroke.
Okay.
There's usually a tendency, and that depending on the length of your thumb, the hand position, and the angle of the wrist, a tendency of when you're playing rest stroke with thumb or doing this. Yeah. To facilitate the ramp going through the string. But that's we can do that, for example, if you're doing so. When you have time. But in general, it would be too much contrast going on. You need to be able to have a good thumb rest stroke without having to get wrist out and above to go underneath. But can you get also a good...
Yeah, if I can try putting this a different way, I think initially you need to find your setup and a good thumb stroke and also a good nail shape so that you're not getting caught. Because what happens is people try to do what you're describing because their nail is
getting caught, and then they facilitate by just changing angle.
And here's the only qualifier is when you're doing the heavy bass lines, if you're playing flamenco or if you're doing Alzapua, you have to make the shift. You watch the flamencos and
yeah, because the flamenco is a different story.
My point though is just that you can't keep it static.
Yeah, but in the flamenco situation, they are like that because they also go into rascal.
Yeah.
So when they're doing thumb and they enter in rascal, that's a much better position prong than this. When the wrist is elevated, then you can. Which, if you're down, it's a lot more strenuous. So, but yes, they play a lot like that. But usually, when they're doing that, they barely intercalate with the I and M8. Sometimes one single finger on the top.
Yeah.
But they won't do this and then arpeggio. But if they need to do arpeggio.
And you see Grisha, his arpeggio posture is different than the Alzapua and the heavy bass stuff.
Correct. There will be difference, absolutely, but The setup cannot be that is so opposite worlds on rest stroke thumb. So facilitate the thumbing that you can find free stroke thumb, rest stroke thumb. See, very little variant. There's variants. Here I'm doing free stroke. Then here I'm doing rest stroke. See, from here to here. So there's some of that, but not this, because this does not allow for a good AMA continuity after.
Well, and that's the thing that I'm trying to make sure that we catch is there's kind of three levels. Is like you want to get your posture and then get a solid thumb stroke, but there's also these little micro moves that I'm doing while I'm playing the barrios, and then there's the bigger ones for the flamenco. So
yeah.
I'm trying to make sure that we don't say like this is the one way of doing it. We capture as much as we can.